The rain was coming down hard that night, the kind that blurs a road and turns every headlight into a streak of white fear, and Malik Johnson was already late, already tired, already thinking about how one mistake at work could cost him everything when he saw the car ahead of him lose control, spin once like it was dancing with death, then flip into the ditch with sound so violent it punched the breath out of his chest. And in that moment, Malik didn't think about his job or his bills, or how the world so often assumed the worst about men who looked like him. He just slammed the brakes, threw open his door, and ran. The car was crushed on one side, smoke hissing from the hood, rain mixing with blood on the shattered glass, and inside was a woman screaming, not loud but terrified, the sound of someone trapped and realizing help might not come in time. Malik shouted to her, told her his name, told her to stay awake, told her help was coming even though he hadn't called yet, because his hands were already working, prying, pulling, cutting her seatbelt as the car groaned like it might collapse any second. When the door finally gave, he shielded her head, lifted her with careful strength, and carried her away just as flames licked the wreckage behind them. By the time the sirens arrived, Malik was kneeling in the mud, holding pressure on her bleeding arm, soaked to the bone, shaking from adrenaline. The paramedics took over. The police asked a few questions, and one officer clapped him on the shoulder and said, "You saved her life." Malik nodded, quiet, humble, already trying to disappear back into the rain. He didn't give interviews. He didn't take pictures. He went home, washed the blood from his hands, and showed up to work the next morning like nothing had happened. For 3 days, everything was silent. Then his phone rang. Human resources. The voice on the other end was stiff, rehearsed, uncomfortable. Malik was being placed on immediate leave pending an investigation. There had been a complaint, a serious one, sexual harassment. The words didn't land at first. They floated unreal, like a bad joke with no punchline. Malik asked who, asked when, asked how. The answer came carefully, like it was wrapped in glass. The woman from the accident. She claimed that while he was helping her, he touched her inappropriately, that he took advantage of the situation, that what he did wasn't heroic. It was predatory. By lunchtime, the story had leaked. Not the rescue, the accusation. His name was suddenly everywhere, always followed by the same phrase, under investigation. At work, co-workers avoided his eyes. Neighbors whispered. A man who once nodded at him in the elevator now stared like Malik was something dangerous that needed to be watched. Malik sat alone in his apartment, staring at his hands, the same hands that pulled someone from a burning car, and wondered how saving a life had turned into this. The power shift was swift and brutal. The woman had a lawyer, a publicist, a family friend who worked in media. Malik had a public defender and a reputation already shaped by other people's fears. Every interview talked about patterns, about statistics, about how heroes could hide dark sides. No one talked about the rain, the fire, the timing. No one talked about the fact that if Malik hadn't stopped, she wouldn't be alive to accuse him at all. When Malik finally spoke, it wasn't to cameras. It was to his mother, sitting across from him at the kitchen table, holding his face like she used to when he was a boy. She didn't ask if it was true. She told him, "I know who you are, and the truth has a way of standing up, even when it's buried." The court of public opinion wasn't waiting for facts. Sponsors at his job cut ties. His employer released a statement distancing themselves out of caution. Friends stopped calling, not because they believed he was guilty, but because being near him felt risky. Malik became a lesson people whispered about. Do the right thing and still be careful, because the system doesn't protect everyone the same way. Then something unexpected happened. A retired EMT saw the story and recognized the date, the location, the chaos. He still had his old body cam footage from that night. Never deleted, never overwritten. It showed Malik working frantically, professionally, keeping distance where possible, narrating every move out loud, asking for consent even as the car burned behind him. It showed the exact moment Malik pulled his jacket off to cover her, not touch her. It showed the truth. But when Malik's lawyer requested the footage officially, it was suddenly missing. Misfiled, unavailable. The power that had turned against him now closed ranks, slow-walking justice, hoping time would do what facts couldn't. make the truth tired enough to quit. Malik stood at the edge of everything he'd built, watching it crumble, not because he was wrong, but because he was alone. And yet, something changed in him. He stopped shrinking. He stopped apologizing for existing. He started documenting everything. Dates, calls, statements. He learned the rules of a game he never asked to play. In the final scene, Malik sits in a quiet room as his lawyer walks in, face unreadable, holding a flash drive recovered from an unexpected source. Someone who had nothing to gain and everything to lose by coming forward. Malik looks up, heart pounding, knowing this could either clear his name or seal his fate forever. The screen fades out just as the lawyer says, "You're not going to believe what's on this." To be continued.